Hey y'all, how's it going? I'm trading the ES futures on a 2000 tick chart with a 21 EMA. So I've got the overnight high up here and the overnight low down here. These are our key levels for the day. So I started trading at 8 Central Time, which is this area right here, just as we were forming this swing right here. And so we have these two legs up, which I want to go over price action levels really quick because you can see on this first leg, it's clearly made up of these two smaller legs. As you can see here, let me just copy that over. So we have these two legs up and then an attempt to reverse. That's very typical. When an uptrend plays out with a break and a new high, you can expect an attempt to reverse. It's not a successful reversal. We do get below the EMA. It does have a strong move down, but we immediately push back out and form another leg up, a very sharp leg up there. And then eventually, as more price action forms, you have to combine the legs to get bigger picture legs. And you can see we have these two legs up, and around that measured move area, we started getting very choppy. It was a little bit below that area, but we started getting choppy there, and then we rushed out, pushed back in very strong, almost like a breakout and then a fade of this measured move level. So these measured move levels are very important. It's important to understand them. And so anyway, we push on lower here. It was kind of forming this range structure. We know we have these two swings there, and then these two swings clearly forming some kind of sideways action. And we do get some reaction when we push back in, so it's important to pay attention to this level. Now, I wasn't paying close enough attention to it as I should have at the time, which kind of led me to miss something, but we'll get into that in a sec. So we push lower here. We get this downtrend, break, first attempt at a new low, and then of course right here is when I started trading, like I said. So we're making the new low as I come in. There's really no entry to get in on that. It is a lower high, but we just had a very sharp push up and it's kind of getting sideways. Even though this uptrend, we have this measured move met up here with a strong reversal, I was thinking we could make a second leg up from here because we almost reached the low, almost like a triple test. And so when we had such a strong bullish push above the EMA, I was thinking we could easily make a second leg up and get a two-legged break. So let me just quickly steal that arrow, drag it there. I was thinking we could have gotten something like this, a two-legged break from here. It was just a little bit risky going short after that very strong rush above. So anyway, let me just move those back to how I had them. And so we push up here, we get this strong push higher right when that downtrend played out. And you can see we get this uptrend, break, and you can kind of see those two attempts at a new high. I didn't, at the time, I didn't have this upper trend line drawn. It just didn't seem as consistent, but there we go. So, but realistically, it actually was holding pretty well, and it matches with these lows down here, and we're clearly reacting off of it once we push up there. And so we have that push up, break, a couple attempts at reaching the measured move, strong reaction off that level. This does look good for a short, but unfortunately, like I said, I just wasn't paying close enough attention. I missed out on that. And we push on lower here. So now, on a bigger picture, it might be hard to see at first, but at first we had this downtrend, break, push to a new low here, and then a reversal. But on a bigger picture, this whole thing, including the break to new low, is one leg down, and then we started forming that second leg down right here. So we have these two legs down here. We bounce off that level again and reverse, but I'll get to that in a sec. So let me just move that. So we push lower here, sharp move down, forming that second leg. We get this correction. You're basically entering short at the end of this move down, so I would want to see a bigger correction. I would want to see a second leg back. It would be like if you got two legs back right there, it would be like a failed second entry starting from right here, which would be good for an entry to make that second leg down, but we just don't get that here. It's closing on the low or near the low of the move. We make a new low here and then just get a first entry, and at this point it's completely sideways choppy. There's no way to go short right here. No way to go short safely. And so we push lower, we break out of this range low right here. We fade back in. You don't want to enter. Let me draw out this. So you have this right here as well as this green trend line that you'd be entering right into. So you don't want to enter into both of those trend lines. It also starts getting choppy. There's really just no way to get in on this fade right here. So no way to go long here. But anyway, so we push on up here, gets choppy. We kind of just, keep moving up without any real entries here. It's choppy again there, push up, and then here we form this uptrend. We get a break, so now we have uptrend, break, and we can expect prices to attempt a new high. And before we continue any further, I'm going to draw out the larger measured move level here. So on an even bigger picture, this eventually is one leg, and then we're forming that second leg down right here. I'm going to copy this to make sure it's exact. And so anyway, we push on up here, we get a break, we can expect prices to attempt a new high. It's retesting that previous level right there, but it is just a first entry. And for anyone who's new, I see that there's a tick higher right there. I can see that to the tick, it's a second entry with a first entry long, second entry long. But to me, I trade bigger picture. I'm not a scalper. This is just one leg down right here. So I don't see this as a second entry. I just see this as a first entry. And then, of course, it's also, within this trend right here. So there's no way to go long there safely. We push up. We get this higher low, very sideways. No way that I would be entering that. We continue up. We push to a new high. Now, what I was hoping for was 2 legs up, retesting the overnight high for a short there, or possibly after a bounce, we could push into a failed second entry to make the second big picture leg down. But instead, what we get is we actually just make a double top around these highs right here. It's not confirmed highs, but it's clearly going into some sideways action, finding resistance there. Double top, very strong reaction, pushing below. So I liked this. It did have quite a pullback. It went all the way down there and retested this high. But that's not too unexpected. It was making 2 legs down there. So we make these 2 legs down, almost reach those low at first, attempt to reverse. So even on a small picture, you can see it. We have downtrend, break, push to a new low, and then attempt to reverse. But it does end up failing because we have this larger structure in play trying to make these 2 legs down. And so anyway, we push on lower here. No way to get short right there. It's just right after this first entry. You already have 2 legs down. Goes into a first entry pushing above the EMA. You can't go short on that safely. And so we go lower here. We break out of that range. And so we start really forming that second leg down now. And it's getting pretty clear at that point. And so we have this trend right here. We get a break. I was hoping for a clear 2-legged break. We didn't quite get that, but we almost got it. We still have 2 legs up right there. Of course, this second leg, is a lot choppier, and this can be confusing for some people. How this right here is a leg, even though it's completely going sideways. You can still see you have a move up, a break, and a second move up off that key entry point. This range was very consistent. Not to mention, let me extend this really quick. We had this in play as well. And so I was not going to want to push it through that especially, but I didn't even want to push it through this chop because it was just so clear right there. And so limit order was needed, but this is a no-fill, unfortunately. And then we reach that green line, we push up. Now we have this downtrend break. When a downtrend gets a break, you can expect prices to attempt a new low. And also you have this larger measured move still in play, and these measured moves act as magnets. When price is attracted to them like a magnet, just like a range line or a trend line. But these measured move levels are very, very important. And notice we're reacting right off of it here. As soon as we reach it, we're pushing up a little bit. So, it might not bounce right off of it. It might go through with just a little reaction, but sometimes it does bounce right off of it. So it is important to understand these key levels here. And then, of course, with this this lower high, which, you can see to the tick, it's a failed second entry. From here, we have first entry long, second entry long failure. It's really sideways. It's right into all this resistance that we were just holding off of consistently throughout the entire day. So I would not be entering short right into that. So unfortunately, I don't see any clear entries to get in on this leg down here. So there's just nothing there. And we push lower here, and then we break out. When you break out of the overnight low or any range, you can expect price to attempt to fade. So this is a really good place to look for a fade entry, especially given we're at this measured move, which is met. And, we're getting a very good reaction off of this measured move so far. So ideally, we could get something like a failed second entry. So we push back in strong and then get 2 legs attempting to retest. We can look for some kind of reversal pattern. A reversal pattern is a failed second entry at a reversal area. So we could get something like that soon. But anyway, I'm done for the day. Hope this video helped out in some kind of way. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.